up? Big Herc 916. Positivity, motivation, never settle for average. You know how we do it over here. Go to bigherc916.com, pick you up some merch, grab you a t-shirt, a hat, a bar of soap, wash your ass. Don't walk around stinking. Ain't nothing worse than being a subject of a conversation about funk. Hit that subscribe button, man. Smash the like button, share the channel. I just finished a workout in the gym, and I was just thinking to myself, what motivates me to come to the gym on the days I really don't want to come, and why do I continue to come, and what do I get from it, and what's the mindset behind pushing my body to the point of exhaustion and beat myself up. But I also beat myself up in other ways, like when I'm doing business or thinking about marketing a product, or when I'm painting. Why do I push myself to the point where I feel if I don't win, I'm a loser? There's no in between. You know, I've struggled with that ever since I was a kid, when I used to draw pictures and I would look at the picture and it didn't look like what I was trying to draw. I would get mad, and I would sometimes throw a fit, and my mom would tell me what's wrong, or ask me what's wrong, and I would tell her, I'm mad at this. She said, well, just be better, get better at it. You know, all you could do is keep trying until you get better at it. But it's up to you to perfect whatever it is you're doing, because it's you who is judging yourself. And she didn't say that in depth, but she, in a sense, basically said, I'm the only one I can blame for my results is myself. So when I used to get grades in school and I would get anything less than an A, it would make me very upset. I would try to think, what could I have done different? And I carried that mentality all through life, you know, really pushing myself, trying to figure out what was my purpose, what was my calling, and why I had this drive. You know, sometimes I used to think, like, what is it like for somebody who's just non-driven, somebody who just flows through life? They don't care if they're a fat ass, if they're unhealthy, if, you know, they don't perform at whatever they're doing. They're just kind of whatever, but they just live life. They seem to be in their own utopia. But for myself, I always have to strive for perfection, or to better myself. And perfection is all in the eye of the beholder, because what I might perceive as perfection, others might perceive as obsessive, and, you know, who knows what that looks like. You know, I just always been a person that felt like I had to push myself to whatever my limits were. Yeah, I've been around people that worked out that could break you. I mean, these dudes were workout monsters, especially some of the cats I ran across when I was growing up, going to the gym, and these were like OGs who played semi-pro ball, and they would work out and damn near feel like your arms are falling off. You do so many curls, and your chest felt like it was just gonna rip. I remember working out with a cat, in juvenile hall. And at the boys ranch, man, this dude, we were sitting there benching. He wouldn't let me up until he made me do extra reps to literally feel like my arms were spaghetti. And we would work out. And so that was like a drive that always, existed in me, but I always reflected back on. And then when it came to schoolwork, growing up and going to the schools I went to, getting those stars next to your name and getting the little bonuses, like with the A, you would get certain treats and you'd get certain awards and stuff like that. I always felt like, man, I want to be one of those people getting awards. It wasn't none of this participation. It wasn't none of this removing the bonuses because you don't want other kids to feel left out. If you're left out, that's you. You didn't do the work. Plain and simple. You're left out. That's just what it is. You can't blame nobody but yourself. Go home and study. So I always put in the extra work. And even as, a young person, I stay up late studying sometimes and trying to figure stuff out. And my mom would be like, oh, what are you doing? I'm working on the book report. Or, why do you work on it? I said, I've been working on it. I'm just trying to make it the best as I can, and I would, do it. And if it didn't read right, scrap it, redo it again. But I've always been one of these people, man. And I don't know if it's some type of mental disorder to want to push myself in every aspect, physically. I'm not sitting here saying I'm going to go to the combine or enter Mr. Olympia, but I push myself. And even when I feel like, man, today feels like I'm struggling, I still try to make sure I get whatever it is I came here to do done. And then the same thing when I'm drawing or I'm painting or I'm trying to figure something out. I always work to push myself to a point where I feel like I've done the best I can do, because if it doesn't come out right, it's a reflection of me. I have to live with that. And so I don't know if some of you guys out there feel the same way. If you feel like sometimes you got this obsessive, compulsive mindset, and how do you cope with it? But for me, I don't like putting anything out that's not my best. I don't like doing something half-assed. I don't like to make excuses. I don't try to justify my shortcomings. I'm all about winning and being the best I can. And I just want to share that with you, man, because I'm leaving the gym. It's on a Saturday. About to go eat on something. I don't know what I'm going to eat yet, but I don't know. I just always had this mentality, and maybe it came from, outside of my mom, my grandfather, not being lazy. He always worked. He always was, making sure the house was nice and the yard was nice. He was never a lazy guy. He never had anything raggedy around the house. He was always about things being presentable, and he prided himself on his belongings. And so, I kind of take that same pride in myself. He wasn't a workout guy. He didn't go to the gym or nothing, but he did a lot of work around the house, and he worked hard as far as for himself to build his retirement. And so I look at a lot of what he did and see how that impacts me, and I think about it, and maybe that's why I push myself. But even him, when I would say things, he would look at me like, man, you have big dreams, and a lot of times people didn't understand those dreams because they said, well, you got to stay in your lane. I'm like, what is my lane? There's people living like that. Why can't I live like that? Why can't I be one of those people, man? Why can't I go after the things I visualize. And if I have those thoughts, obviously they're in my head for a reason. You know, if it wasn't meant to be, then I would just be like everybody else. I wouldn't think about these things. These things wouldn't even be a inclination. You know, I would never have. I wouldn't even entertain these type of conversations in my head. So I know I just kind of like rambled on a little bit, but I just want to share that with you, that, you know, if somebody says you're not normal because you think like this, you have this perfection or a compulsive mentality about the things you do and about success and about achieving, it's all right. You don't need to try to justify it. Be you. Keep pushing yourself. Don't second guess yourself. And when you do, because I do sometimes, shake it off and keep it rolling. Big Herc 916.
Officially, I only got one real spanking my entire life. My mom did the best a 14-year-old could do, raising me with love and instilling values that will last a lifetime. I was a straight A student and lived to make her happy. So how did I go astray? A horrible stepdad that stole my self-worth and invoked fear turned me into a person that I struggled to overcome. From skateboarding to selling drugs, gang banging in juvenile hall, I got caught the same way many young promising men get caught up. I struggled to find my identity, getting mixed up in shootouts, crime, and the adult entertainment industry. This roller coaster continued as I juggled college, hustling, and Hollywood, eventually catching a federal bank robbery case. I found redemption in prison while serving a 120-month federal sentence and came out a man on a mission. I became a social media influencer with over 500 million views on YouTube and a life coach mentoring people all over the world. This is my journey against all odds.
Go to bigherc916.com and purchase you a bar of soap, one of the books I've written, a hat, a beanie, a t-shirt, tank top, or some detail spray for your car. Hello, my name is Big Herc 916, and I'm with the Wash Your Ass Committee, and I'm traveling across America helping people wash their ass and get their booty holes clean. And I have with me here today Wash Your Ass soap, and this one in particular is Butt Naked Scrub, but I also have Festival, Oatmeal Milk and Honey, Jamaican Me Crazy, Monkey Farts, and all these scents smell very good. They will help cleanse your body of funk and also make you feel better about yourself. So if you can go to bigherc916.com, you can pick you up a bar, and my goal is to help America combat funk.
Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at freshoutseries.com.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at freshoutseries.com.